Should we start? Okay. Hi YouTube, Sketchy here, once again with another guide for you. This was a 250 subs goal, so I thank all of my sub for subbing. And yeah, you're awesome, and I don't really deserve godlike viewers like you. So yeah. A little overview. I played Kage for about 1,600 matches, so yeah, I put in some work and I'm here to share with you what I know about the character so far, to give you some pointers. This is not a real guide in a sense. I mean, it has some, will have some guidelines, but the meta will evolve so much with this character because it's a very hard, deep character, especially with V-Trigger 1. I'm gonna mainly speak about V-Trigger 1 because I think V-Trigger 2 is pretty straightforward. It gives you a hard knockdown from pretty much any combo, and that's it. And it gives you the demon. So I'm mainly gonna speak about V-Trigger 1 because it's underdeveloped in my opinion. Okay, so let's start. We're gonna start with the normals as usual. I'm gonna go over the normals and explain you the use of every normal and every special. Take into account that this once again is a hard character, so every move has a use. Every normal has a use. There's not gonna be a single normal you're not using with this character, and that's why he's pretty hard to use paired with 900 health, so you can't afford to make mistakes with this character. Okay, let's start. There's a little bit of talking to do about standing light punch versus crouching light punch. One of Kage's main weaknesses is the fact that he can't convert properly from a 3-framer, because crouching light punch is his 3-framer and he can't convert on counter it. Let me show you real quick. This doesn't work. It's not 2 hits, so it's not a combo. And this sucks, honestly, because most 3-framers are good because they can convert a countered crouching light punch into a medium, into something, which can be, I don't know, a Tatsu maybe. As you can see, it doesn't combo with this, it doesn't combo with this, so you have to make a choice. If you want to interrupt and convert off it, you need to do this. But this standing light punch is 4 frames. So you have to lose 1 frame, which is pretty crucial in pressure situations to get the conversion. If you want to just interrupt, just go for something like this. I mean, you can get a conversion, but it's pretty like spacing specific, and it sucks if it gets blocked or if it whiffs. So this is a conversion you can do. Not the best conversion, and it whiffs very often, so be careful. It's this if you want a nice conversion, nice and easy, and this if you just want a 3-framer and you want to interrupt. Okay, about the light kick, I think light kick is the best pick throw and shimmy tool. Light punch is also very good, but I prefer this because it gives you more space to shimmy. You can still grab, like you can still tick grab without moving, even outside of the corner, so it's pretty good because you can go for this or for this as a shimmy, and as you can see the damage is pretty huge, so use this as a tick throw tool. Better than light punch. Someone may argue about that, but I like it personally. I like it more than standing light punch. Crouching light kick is your low combo starter. Pretty straightforward. I'm not gonna speak a lot about this. You do empty lows, you start your low combos. It's like pretty much like regular Ryu, so don't worry too much about it. Standing medium punch, it's a great tool because when you have some knockdowns, you can do like 2 light punches, close with this, and it's the only normal that's gonna reach. It's important because, see, crouching medium punch cannot substitute standing medium punch in most instances. So if you do double light punch, you're gonna be able to reach with this to get a frame trap with a light shakunetsu, but you can't reach with this. So it's very important, if you have like the right spacing between you and your opponent, you do this because it has more range and not this. This, however, is pretty crucial in pressure situations because, as you can see, it's pretty plus on block. it's +3, so it allows you to take a micro step and make a throw attempt. It can combo into itself even without a counter it. Stop blocking, can please, thank you. And this is pretty rare. I mean, regular Ryu can't do this. You can do double medium punch or crouching into standing. So it's like the main tool to apply pressure and to start combos with. Because if you get the counter it, that's where the real damage comes. You can spend how many bars you like the amount of bars you like. You have different combos for every situation. This is meterless. This is 1 meter. This is 2 meters. With the Tiger Knee Fireball. This is 3 meters. It's all about how much damage you want to do, how much stun you want to do, but I mean, when the meta evolves, this won't be a viable frame trap anymore because people are gonna start to interrupt the heavy kick, axe kick. So the best way to use this is to visually confirm a crouching medium punch, counter it, and combo into this. Because, I mean, I'm getting away with this on block, but it's not gonna be for long. Because so many people are unfamiliar with the matchup. Of course, I mean, the character came out, well, 10 days ago. So, yeah, they're pretty unfamiliar. But when people are gonna start to catch up with Kage, it's gonna be a struggle, trust me. So, you need to be ready for that. And the way to be ready for that is train your counter hit confirm and get this combo because it's super damaging and you need all the damage you can get with this character. Crouching medium punch, I spoke about that. Standing medium kick, it's a pretty good tool. I mean, you can throw it out sometimes. It's not important in V-Trigger 1. It's pretty crucial in V-Trigger 2 because you can confirm into the demon. You can actually confirm the hit like this and get the combo. Pretty much the same way you confirm Ken's crouching medium kick into super or into DP. So you late cancel it. This is not a buffer, this is not a hit confirm, this is a late cancel. You throw it out and you buffer 2 light punches and you close the input for the demon if you see it hit it. I don't have the trigger, I'm stupid. As you can see, this is a late cancel. It has super late cancelable frames, but it's only cancelable into demon. So that's pretty crucial in V-Trigger 2, not very important in V-Trigger 1. Crouching medium kick is pretty much your standard Shodo crouching medium kick. Take into account that so many people are underestimating the Hado, but you can combo this from pretty far away, pretty much max range. So yeah, for people that like to walk back to avoid the throw mix-up, do this. Do like 2 light punches and then do this, and you will get some damage. You can like force people to think twice before walking back, because your shimmy versus throw game is pretty important as Kage. It's pretty much the core of the character. So yeah, pretty important. You can late cancel it into Tatsu, into medium Tatsu, so you don't have to worry too much because it catches the opponent from pretty much any distance. You need to be good though, so put the opponent on random block as usual. We spoke about that so many times on my stream. Random block and learn to confirm it like this. Also, this can also be a very good buffer tool. So you buffer this, and if it hits, you get the EX Tatsu, and you can get the full combo. So if you're trying to catch pretty much everything, this can be a kind of good buffer tool, but it only combos into light kick Tatsu, so it whiffs many times. This can whiff, so be careful, but it works in most situations. Good buffer tool. The biggest buffer tool though is standing heavy punch, because you can buffer this into heavy tatsu and you can get a pretty good chunk of damage. If you catch any limb, even like Dulcim's standing medium kick, if you're right here, you catch Dulcim's standing medium punch or medium kick and you get this combo here. And you can also combo this into super. Great buffer tool, but take into account it's a heavy normal, so it has pretty massive recovery. Another great use you can do, another great way in which you can use this normal is to apply pressure. There's like what I call the Sako setup, which is like be in your opponent's face and get this into super, which I can't do because I'm stupid. But you should be able to do that. There we go. And this is pretty damaging. And this is also why I love VT1, because you can frame trap, and if it gets blocked, you're safe anyway, because light Shakunetsu is not safe. But if you do this, you can confirm on hit and be out of trouble, out of harm's way on block. Some guys, some characters may be able to punish it, but not many. So yeah, it's a pretty nice bet. And also you can go into your EX Hado frame trap and get a nice chunk of damage. I mean, it's a pretty good tool. And also it can combo from crouching medium punch, and this is the optimal combo. So if you don't get the counter it, if you do get the counter it, just go back to the start of the video and watch the heavy stomp combo. But if you don't get a counter it, this is the most optimal thing you can do. So optimal combos, remember this, because I see so many people do this, and no, don't do that. Do this because it's super important, because you can get heavy tatsu instead of light tatsu, and that means you can juggle into heavy DP instead of light DP, and that's important because that's much more damage. I mean, look at the difference here. We have 210 versus 256, so it's like 30 more damage. It's pretty important. Very good tool, but don't buffer too much because it has big recovery, and if they jump, they're gonna catch you. So be careful. Crouching heavy punch, we already spoke about that. It's mainly used for this. So you frame trap. This is like pretty much the hardest hitting frame trap in the game. And it's debatable because people are gonna start to react to it. Right now you can get away with this on block because remember that heavy stomp is plus. It has a gap, but nobody except like grandmaster players are reacting to this. So yeah, it's up to you really. Just test your opponent, see if they can react to the heavy stomp, and if they can, just stop. If they can't, keep going, because you get this, which is a super big frame trap, super big damage because it goes into this or into the EX version as we saw earlier, and it's plus, so if it gets blocked you can keep going like this. I mean, if they don't react to it, keep using it. It's a pretty important tool, but it's gonna fall off pretty quickly. Then we have standing heavy kick. This normal is a little bit underwhelming if you ask me, because it's a crush counter normal, but it has no like downward hitbox, like not at all. They can stuff that with a crouching medium. Many times they just go under it, so be careful, and you only use it max range like this. You can get a dash up standing medium punch. If you're really close, you can get a heavy punch, but if you're this close, you're misusing it in my opinion, because it's pretty unsafe to use it like that. Usually the way I use this normal is I go for a check after a fireball, like I do this block string, it gets blocked, and then I do this, because if they're walking forward after this, they're gonna get hit, and if they press a button, they're gonna get crash countered. So it's pretty important, but do not use it that much. Like every now and then, max distance, it can be used like this, but do not count on it too much. Sweep is like your standard sweep, nothing special. But it's pretty crucial in getting the setups because it's one of the two ways you can activate V-Trigger 1. The bad thing about V-Trigger 1 is that you can only activate it from a normal, which is pretty useless. You can activate from this and you can confirm a crash counter sweep and get setups, or you can confirm it off this, which is pretty good because it's a +6 fireball. It becomes plus a ton if you cancel it into V-Trigger. Let's see. It's +23. So you can actually I saw Sako doing this. The opponent went for a V reversal and he jumped a neutral jump and he got a full punish on the V reversal. So that's a pretty good use for the V-Trigger 1 cancel. V-Trigger 2 is much more versatile. As I said, you can cancel it off everything. So yeah, take this into account because you can use it. You can use this pretty much like Ryu sweep. I mean, you cancel this, you go for the setup, something like this. They are fake setups. I'm gonna speak about that, but as I said, character is pretty new. People are falling for this all day, so you can get some W's in. You can steal some W's. Okay, so what else is there to say? I think that's it for the normals. The jumping normals are like not that important because this sucks, this sucks. This is your main cross up. You can use it as a cross up, and these are your two main jumping attacks. Jumping heavy kick is the best if you're like jumping from this because it has super nice active frames. So sometimes you can get people trying to anti-air you with a normal because it starts up so early and it's so active that it's gonna beat some late anti-air attempts. But you shouldn't be jumping too much anyway, if you want my advice, because this character bleeds, man. He dies so quickly, so you have to play pretty much perfectly to win. I mean, if you're playing Kage, that's what you're getting. Playing this character is an act of love at the moment. Okay, on to the specials. The Hado, there's not too much to say about it. The EX version crumples. You can get heavy Tatsu into heavy DP. You can go for it if you want. It's pretty safe on block. I mean, this is -3, when most fireballs are -6, so that's pretty important. This is -2, so you can have pretty much a safe frame trap. You go for this, you go for this, and if they press a button, they get crumpled, and you can go for an easy combo. Pretty damaging combo, like 30%. Yeah, there's not much to say. It's pretty underwhelming, but I think it's pretty cool because like people are underestimating the range. Like, look at this. This is pretty good. Tatsu. You have to remember this. Light Tatsu combos from lights and combos into heavy light DP. Medium Tatsu combos into light DP once again. Heavy Tatsu combos into heavy DP. EX Tatsu combos into this or into Tiger Knee, EX Fireball into Stomp, and in the corner your main BNB is gonna be this into this, which is the swaggy version that I like to use. Or if you want to be actually optimal and you're not a complete show-off like myself, you can go for the optimal damage, which is this, into medium Shakunetsu into EXDP with 2 bars. If you have 1 bar, you have to do this with a crouching light punch and then go for heavy DP. I suggest to whiff a crouching light punch because you have to wait if you get this combo. Because if I go for the heavy DP straight away, as you can see, it whiffs. So, crouching light punch, heavy DP, okay? Do that. It's important. And it gives you the exact timing so you don't screw up. Oki. This doesn't give you real Oki if you go for the DP ender. You get like 30 more damage, but you don't get any Oki. You can't dash because he's gonna jab you out. But what I do is I don't go for the DP. And you get some nice things. Let me record the opponent recovering. You can get a cross up, but you have to take a micro step. You can get a nice safe jump if they do back recovery. Just hold up forward and you get this very nice safe jump. If you want to get tricky and you know the opponent is back recovering, you can go for this. You can walk, it's pretty hard to get, but you can walk forward and get a cross up. So it's like a 50-50. It's reactable because if the opponent sees you walking forward, he can start blocking the cross up. But I mean, it's pretty tricky, so go for it if you see the opponent is back rolling a lot. If they don't back roll, there's a nice thing I can show you. You do this. It only works if you do double crouching medium punch into light tatsu. You can jump and get this, which is a fake cross up that combos into lights. And people are gonna fall for it because they were waiting for a cross-up from that situation. So, pretty good stuff. But you have to get reads on how the opponent is waking up. If he's back rolling, go for what I said. If he's standing up, go for this. If he does a regular get up, a regular recovery, normal recovery. And yeah, you can also go for this if you want like guaranteed pressure, so it's not tricky, it's just a midi. But if you want to be like, if you're a safe player and if you want to play it safe, you get guaranteed pressure if you do this double dash or even a single dash and you walk a little bit and you get the perfect midi. They can't jab you out of this. So yeah, this is all I know as far as Oki is concerned. So I suggest going for the Oki ender. Do not go for the DP unless you're about to stun. You're playing against a grappler and you want that out of the way, and or you want to like kill the opponent, because you can also go for the EX DP to kill if you're not a screw up like me. So yeah, it's still pretty solid damage. What else is there to say? Nothing. I think I covered everything about the Tatsu. Crucial normal. Let's go over the other two crucial specials, The other two crucial specials, which are Stomp and Shakunetsu. So, Stomp goes like this. Let me remove the counter it. Light Stomp is punishable. +2 on hit, but punishable on block, it's -4. And it can combo off crouching medium kick. I strongly advise you against this unless you want to go for the super. So let's say you want to close the match, you go for this and you get the full animation. So this is the optimal combo into the super. You can go for this, but you won't get the animation playing. If you happen to get this, go for this. Once again, optimal animation is playing, you get more damage. But this is pretty important in V-Trigger 2, because you can convert, like, Light Stomp is pretty important of V-Trigger 2, because you can V-Trigger cancel it, and you can get a full combo into the demon if you want to be swaggy. But as a standalone special, since it's so punishable, I would avoid using it if you're playing V-Trigger 1. In V-Trigger 2 it's pretty important, because if you catch him like standing, you can convert into big damage, as I showed you. In V-Trigger 1, avoid using it. Minion Stomp. This is interesting because it doesn't combo naturally of crouching medium kick, but if you happen to get a counter it, you get the combo. And it's pretty important. It's safe, so you can spam it, and if you happen to get a counter it, just be happy about that. If you don't get the counter it, it's -2, so you're still safe. Okay, so here comes the big thing. Heavy Stomp. Okay, the Heavy Stomp is plus on block. So you can go for this, and you got a very big combo on hit or counter it. Your plus, so you can go for like a throw mix-up, you can throw him, or you can go for a frame trap. But between this and this, there's a 4-frame gap, and they can interrupt you for big damage. I say big damage because if they interrupt you, you get a counter it. So they can do like light punch into medium punch into like a decent amount of damage, especially because you have 900 health. So yeah, it's a mind game pretty much. Like you can counter it by using medium stomp, and if you get a counter it stomp, if Ken is not blocking, of course, you can combo into crouching light punch and into light tatsu. So like be ready to confirm that. Same can be said for this, but I mean this, if you get this as a counter it, and I don't see how you can get a medium punch. I wouldn't trust people going for like midi stomps because I don't know, why would you not block a midi stomp? I mean, you see the wind up and you can just react by doing an invincible reversal. So I wouldn't trust people that say go for the midi stomp. So yeah, you can get a medium punch just for a reference, but I don't see any viable ways to get that. So just use this. If you get the counter it with the medium stomp, you can convert. If you don't, go for the heavy stomp, test them, see if they react, and react accordingly, adapt. That's like the name of the game for Street Fighter V anyway. Shakunets. Okay, this is the best fireball you have because you don't have a regular fireball. So this is like, it has a pretty fast startup and it gets pretty deceptive because many people will start trying to jump over that, and many times you can anti-air. If you do it like on wake up, you do this, if they jump you can anti-air and they're not expecting it, because visually it still looks like you have your hands in the fireball position, but you can actually anti-air. So throw it out and be ready with the DP. We got a sub. You can see my nice sub alert. Thank you, Sensor, please. And what was I saying? Yeah, medium Shakunetsu, I already told you. You can use it as a combo extender with the EX DP. And that's pretty much the only use. Heavy punch Shakunetsu is pretty crucial because it allows you to win fireball battles against characters like Guile or Fang, or maybe even Akuma. You can trade with Akuma, you can beat Guile's V-skill, you can beat Guile's EX Sonic Booms, but it has, as you can imagine, huge recovery. So be careful when you use it. In V-Trigger 1, it's pretty important because you can go for the fakest of setups, which is this, into heavy Shakunetsu. You can do a teleport and you can actually confirm into a DP, or even into super, or even into DP into super, if the game works properly and if I don't screw up, of course. There we go. And it's a pretty big chunk of damage. And on block, as you can see, you get some nice side switch setups. Do any block string really, it can interrupt you, but if it doesn't, you do something like this. You teleport behind them. And yeah, pretty nice stuff. They may not be expecting that. You can confirm on hit and get a setup on block, and it sets you up for the instant air tatsu. You can do this and get the cross up, but it's pretty much a glorified shimmy because if they dock, they're not getting hit by the cross up. But if they try to grab you, you can get the cross up and side switch, and you can like play some tricks on them, like the infamous RB setup, which is this. Which doesn't work anymore, by the way, because everybody blocks it. But if you want to be swaggy and like do a heavy Shakunetsu from about this distance, if they block it, you teleport behind them, you get this, and then you go back to the same side. So it's, yeah, it's a pretty good mix-up tool. I've been winning a lot of games with V-Trigger 1 using this tactic, this strategy. Just make them block a block string and get behind them. Try to be as far as possible because it's more plus and it allows you to convert into this. Look, if you're right here, you get this and you can get a heavy punch, which, as I said, it's pretty important. So try to get that. But I'm gonna talk about setups in a little bit. EX Shakunetsu is pretty important because it's the only thing you can extend with V-Trigger 1. It's the only thing you can cancel into V-Trigger 1, and it's pretty important, yeah. I mean, as I said, do this, you're plus 26, you can jump, you can neutral jump and get the punish. Not on Ken, because as you know, Ken's V-reversal is pretty fast. So I don't think you can get it, but I can give you the idea. Let me set Ken to V-reversal. It's not gonna work on Ken, but it's gonna work wonderfully on slower V-reversals. Look at this. You can do something like this. You're plus 26 and you get the punish. I guarantee you that we will get the punish. Oh, you can get the punish with Ken. I didn't know. You just need to use medium kick. Interesting. So you can even get the punish on Ken, but on other characters with slower V-reversal, you can get heavy punch. On Ken, you can only do medium kick, so the combo is gonna be a little bit less damaging. But I actually discovered this while recording the tutorial, so karma, I guess. So this is a very nice activation, plus 26. And on hit, you can go for a pretty straightforward combo. Heavy DP, that's it. So yeah, pretty crucial stuff. I think I'm done. The DP is just the DP, man. Use medium DP to anti-air and use the other two DPs as a combo ender, the way I explained you earlier, speaking about the other specials. Okay? I think that covers up the normals and the specials. You have air Hadoken, can be used to control space against people that like to jump. The input is quarter circle forward, up forward, and like this. Like light punch, medium punch, 2 punches if you want EX. And yeah, that's the air fireball. It can be used as a combo extender, as I showed you. I'm gonna show you again. And it's the only way to get this combo outside of the corner. In the corner, you have better options, but I'm not gonna repeat myself. Air Tatsu. So many people in my stream ask me, how do you do the EX Air Tatsu to get the setups? It's pretty tricky, you have to practice it, but the input is from forward to back, so half circle back, into up forward, into 2 kicks. Practice it because it's pretty tricky. It can be used in some V-Trigger 2 combos too. I don't know if they're optimal anymore because my like V-Trigger 2 knowledge is pretty... I don't have much knowledge about V-Trigger 2. You can do something like this. I guess, so it can be used in combos, but it's mostly useful for the setups, I think. So yeah, that's the input, practice it, and let's keep going, and let's speak about V-Trigger. Okay, I already showed you some setups. You can be creative with them, like I have this setup here I discovered. Without the counter it, of course. Like you get this, dash forward, and you get this. And you get a full combo. You can be creative. You can also do this, like point blank. If the opponent is not anti-airing you, you jump back, you do V-Trigger, and you get a cross-up that then lands in front. I'm gonna show you again. It's a cross-up. See? It's a cross-up. You can see in the left corner, but it lands in front. So even if they block it as a cross-up, it's gonna fuck them up because they don't know where to block after that. So yeah, when you're point blank, do this, and then go for medium kick in the air. And you're gonna get the fake cross-up, no, the real cross-up into stay in front. You're gonna cross up and then you're gonna stay in front. Excuse me. Another very important thing is this, the V skill. I'm gonna speak about the V skill because it's, I think, top 3 V skills in the game. It's super good. It's pretty much like Ibuki's V skill, but it has one major weakness that Ibuki doesn't have and one major point of strength. Like, good thing. The weak point is that it's vulnerable to lows. So if you're trying to understand how to play against Kage, use many low normals, like medium kicks, light kicks, sweeps, or anything you have that hits low, because it's vulnerable to lows. And Ibuki's V skill is not vulnerable to lows. But this V skill is important because you can crush counter with it. It knocks down if you fully charge it. But you can get a crush counter, so you can combo. And you get a dash up combo, so it's pretty damaging. If you don't charge it the whole way, you get an air combo. And yeah, it's super versatile. You can use it like if you go -2, pretty much like, imagine like Ibuki players use their V skill and use it the same way. You go -2, you're like here, I don't know, I'm doing something like this, I'm -2, he blocks, and then I go for this because I reel back and I have armor. So if the opponent tries to press a button, and I mean, he's right because it's plus and I'm minus, I'm gonna get an extra turn. Because if I hit this, I can get a crush counter, best case scenario, or I can get a hit, a regular hit, if I absorb a normal and it's not a counter hit. And I can do a V-trigger cancel, get a full combo, and I mean, all the nice stuff. Or just, I mean, I let it rip, I'm +2, so I can do something like this, which is a good frame trap. It's a super versatile V skill. I think it's top 3 V skills in the game. And I think it's Kage's strongest point. So use the V skill as much as you can in the neutral game. Every time you go minus, you have the option of going for the V skill. This V skill, this same V skill, gets super powered up in V-Trigger 1. I think V-Trigger 1 is the way to go against keep away characters. Because let's say Dhalsim goes for a Yoga Flame or a Yoga Fire, not EX because it has only 1 hit of armor. You can go for this and get super big damage. I'm gonna show you what kind of damage you can get if you crumple the opponent with a fully charged V skill. And it happens a lot. What did I want to do? I forgot. Okay, I got this now. This is the kind of damage you can get if you get the crumple. It wastes like your whole V-trigger and 3 bars, but I mean, 50%, not something you can sleep on. And on block, it's +6. So basically, you get in or you get in. You get a combo or you're +6 and you're in their face. And against zoners, this is pretty important. This is a pretty crucial ability to have. You can do it like 2 times, I think. 1, yeah. You have 2 tries with this. I strongly suggest you charge it the whole way. You can also use it as a combo extender, like this. If you don't charge it the whole way, you can go for this and then cancel into super if you want. So as I said, the V skill is Kage's main tool, in my opinion. Super strong V skill, super strong in V-Trigger 1, and yeah, it's an all-rounder. Its only great weakness is being vulnerable to lows. But in V-Trigger mode, it's only vulnerable to lows during the wind-up. So if it started traveling, you can't interrupt it anymore. And if you press any button while it's traveling, you get caught and you get crumpled and you lose 50% of your health. And that's why it's pretty crucial. Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, there are gonna be so many setups with V-Trigger 1. I'm gonna show you what I use. Let's go back to the center. I mean, you can find me in so many compilations and steal my setups, or just come ask me. Come to my stream and ask me. I'm gonna show you so many setups. This is another thing. If you get a crash counter sweep, which is like hit confirmable, look this. Look at this. This is my main setup because you can get so much damage with this. So you dash forward. It's pretty hard to get because it's pretty unorthodox. Let me explain myself. To do this setup, you need to do this. It looks like a back teleport here, but it's not. Because since you cross him up, your directions reverse. So you actually have to dash forward, jump over your opponent, and do a forward teleport. And it's gonna look like this. Then you're gonna do a quarter circle back, and you're gonna get the Tatsu. So it took me a while to learn this setup because I was like, I'm gonna do this. Why is he teleporting forward? It's because my directions are reversed. Just look at the inputs on the left. I'm gonna show you once again. Look, I'm holding forward when I'm doing the V-trigger because like the V-trigger buttons give you the teleport in the air. So yeah, this is the way you do it. There are so many setups with this V-trigger. So many setups are gonna be discovered. They're all fake so far because the opponent can just crouch and avoid all of them. And I already know I'm screwing myself up in my ranked runs because I'm racing to master. At the moment I'm Ultra Diamond. Because if people watch this, if this video becomes popular, which is most likely not gonna happen, but if it does, everyone is gonna know about this. Rip the setup. So just crouch. And you're gonna avoid all the crazy setups. But there's a but. If I know you're crouching, I can go for this. And I get a jumping combo. Which, as you can see, it's pretty damaging. So we have some tools as Kage players if the opponent is crouching. I mean, I'm not gonna elaborate too much. I gave you some ideas on how to use V-Trigger 1. As I said, you're gonna get some more ideas by coming to my stream or watching my compilations, like Wrecked Scrub did one, Liang Hu BBB did another one, so just go check it out, check them out because they're godlike YouTubers. I just gave you the outlook on V-Trigger 1. You just be creative, because we are still discovering so much about this character, and it's a pretty deep character. Another big thing your V-Trigger 1 can do is canceling your EX overheads, because EX Stomp is an overhead, and but it's unsafe, very unsafe. It's -8. Okay, I'd like you to stop reversing now. So, you can cancel out of this. You do back teleport and you're safe. So you can go for like some pretty good mix-ups because EX Stomp catches so many people off guard. But if they block it and you're unsafe, it's pretty bad because, as I'm always stressing, you're 900 health, so it sucks for you. But if you have the option to cancel it, it becomes even more dangerous. So yeah, I mean, this is all V-Trigger 2 allows you to do. V-Trigger 1 allows you to do. Speaking of V-Trigger 2, I'm gonna go over it, but It's pretty straightforward. I mean, that's why everybody's using this. You get any combo. You can cancel it from everything, pretty much. Fireballs. There's a nice option select with the fireball you can do. Like you do fireball and you press the V-trigger buttons. If the fireball hits, you get the confirm. And you get the hard knockdown. So this allows you to get Oki off everything. Everything. Heavy DP. EX DP. And even Air Tatsu. There's this nice option select you can do. You do Air Tatsu into V-trigger buttons, the two heavies. If it hits, you get the hard knockdown. If it doesn't, you're not wasting your V-trigger because you don't get the follow-up. Because it whiffs. If it whiffs, as you can see, look. I'm pressing V-trigger buttons, but nothing comes out. But if I hit, I automatically get the V-trigger. And this is pretty good. And also, as I told you, you get a comboable version of the Raging Demon. Pretty good stuff. You don't get the Raging Demon in VT 1. Overall, if you want to win, I strongly advise you to use... I strongly encourage you to use V-Trigger 2, because it's the way to go. Because it's so easy to catch people blocking high with this and kill them pretty much. You do this, Demon, 50% damage, easy. Which is not something that happens with V-Trigger 1. But I think V-Trigger 1 is underestimated, is underrated, and I'm gonna keep experimenting with it. On my live stream, I'm doing a run to master with V-Trigger 1 because it's a great way for me to get a grasp on what the V-Trigger 1 can do. I used to think that V-Trigger 1 sucked compared to 2, but it's a 2-bar V-Trigger, and if you use it really, really early in the match, basically every time I get it, I do this. I get V-Trigger 1, sweep, V-Trigger activation, because if you activate it soon enough, you may have the chance of getting a second V-Trigger, because it's 2 bars. So, as soon as you get it, just use it. Like, do this. You get nice combos on hit, so it's like good stuff. Just use it. Use the V-Trigger. You have... issues, like, I apologize for that, but the mic randomly bugs out. I don't know why. What I was saying is activate the V-Trigger 1 as soon as you get it, because you may get a second chance, because it's a 2-bar V-Trigger. So as soon as you get it, you have 3 ways to activate it. Like, you can do this, and if you're lucky, you can convert into swaggy combos that are pretty much useless though. You can do this. Looks good, but it sucks. Does no damage, and it wastes your whole V-Trigger meter. Better activations would be this, because on Crush Counter, it gives you setups, or this. Because EX Shakunetsu is the best way for you to activate, for the reasons that I spoke about. So yeah, I think that's it. That's all I know for now for Kage. I may add something in the future when I see more stuff getting discovered, more tech, which is not like more not fake tech, because I mean, my stream viewers know what I think about Twitter tech and people getting like 700 retweets, 1000 likes for fake tech. What I told you is real tech. And when it was fake tech, I told you it was fake. So use it, but know that it's a gimmick. So don't rely too much on that, okay? I think it wraps it up. Stay safe and good luck with Kage. Peace out.